and live what you saying on them beats. Real talk.
1, 2, 3. You don't really wanna fuck with
Yo, this is
me.
Clinton, the hip hop Hercules, the historian. I'm here to talk to you about the mixtape Best in the World, the tribute to Notorious B.I.G. Volume 1, John Connor. What's up? Firstly, I just want to say for the format of the mixtapes and the work that John Connor's been putting out, I think it's dope as fuck. Instead of doing what everybody does, for example, it could be called the no ceilings format, where you just take the most popular tracks, use the instrumental, rap over the music bed, and make that a mixtape. John Connor he's got 3 so far. He's got Eminem beats, tribute to Eminem. Then he did Kanye, whole long title of a mixtape, but it's all Kanye beats that he raps over. And now it's the tribute to Notorious B.I.G. In order to do that, it takes a lot of confidence, and he uses the best. He's using guys in the game with longevity, and these are beats that are shoes that most people don't want to step in. So, first track on the tape is Runnin', the Eminem produced song for the Tupac and Biggie documentary that came out, almost a decade ago. Beats dope. I like that he tells a little story about a cat dealing with the streets and the struggles of the life. But like the majority, a lot of John Connor songs, the flow is hot, but he's going too fast. Makes the bars sound dope when it comes to punchlines and all that. But he really needs to slow it down in order to put out a fire track, something the radio will play and people other than hip-hop heads will purchase. Unless you want to end up with that Papoose money, that recent Cassidy money, you'd be lucky to get that Jadakiss money with that flow. So I'd say slow it down and spit to the bass and the drum. Make 16 bars. That's it. Second track on the tape, Kicking the Door, DJ Premier beat. Absolutely absurd with the wordplay. He's got short lines, all punches to the grill. It's unfortunate you got to hear DJ Khaled doing a stupid screaming thing in the background, but that's good for putting out image to music buyers. But for real hip-hop heads, this is a beat that takes some serious cojones to rap over, and goddamn does he do it right. So props to that one. Favorite joint on the tape, I'd say. One of them. Everyday Struggle. It's another hot story song. He is, no question, one of the only cats putting out tracks that give that nostalgic storytelling feeling from growing up in the hood. I love his references to family, girls, and the homies he had growing up. He really puts his heart into the second and third verse. It takes a lot for a man to talk about a struggle with such a humble attitude. He uses the whole Notorious image and the Biggie beats for the tape overall, and then how he ties it into how he would escape with his sister from all the nonsense going on in the hood and the harsh realities while listening to Ready to Die. And this song specifically, it really makes for a beautiful thing. This track right here, if it wasn't on a Biggie beat, I would iTunes single this bitch for sure. Respect, again, is another one of those punchline-filled tracks. Nothing conceptual, but definitely an absolutely ferocious hip-hop track. I wish he could slow it down a little bit for the sonic feel of things, but it's a street track, no doubt. You could tell he was trying to kill everyone when he put this to the pad. I don't know who he's talking about. We probably all do, but he mentions silly shirts, the fear rappers should have when they feel coming into the booth. He's definitely confident that nobody's touching him right now, and that cockiness makes for a good old angry swank flow for sure. Scary. The track Biggie, I'm going to keep it straight up and down. It's a bullshit song. It was one I was excited for too, but really disappointing. You got Khaled announcing a bunch of his homies who are also John Connor's little artists. Justin Day, first verse, whack as hell. He's got that squeaky, like Drake mixed with Lil Boosie voice, junk. Mickey Wallace is I like that raspy voice, sounds cool, but I wasn't blown away with nothing he was saying. Connor, he also said some cool shit, but really he shouldn't have put his homies onto it. And honestly, if Connor himself went for another 2 verses so on this beat, it wouldn't have been a dope track overall anyways. I would have scrapped that. Worst track on the tape for sure. Juicy. I mean, it's juicy. If not one of the greatest hip hop songs, you can't question that it's one of the most important. When a so established artist decides to spit to this giant music bed, I truly think it's life or death. And he was able to come up breathing. Talks about his city, the inability to dream, the push and shove lifestyle. He's got a couple Biggie shout outs with his play on words like the double XL mag line that's hot. Was it a good idea to stop the verse so short? I mean, I would say yes. You can't test yourself with this beat too much without accidentally burning yourself. Definitely a risky joint, but it came out hot. Who Shot Ya? I mean, his Who Shot Ya is nice. It's one of the most classic freestyle type of beats that hundreds and hundreds of people have got on. His isn't nearly one of the best to try it. I mean, plenty of punchlines and shit, but it just reminds me of like a Rap City freestyle or a BET basement session. He could have saved a lot of them crazy duffs he have on Respect and Kicking the Door for this one. Yeah, I would have pushed the envelope. I would have went harder. He with his voice, you could tell he's going really hard, but with the content to match it, it lacks. It doesn't come up as strong as that punch he's trying to give. On Notorious Thugs, as opposed to the track Biggie, this is a nice Flint, Michigan group track. Everybody kind of puts their work in. I like it a lot. Minus that stupid ass DJ Khaled intro, constant screaming. This is a John Connor, vlog, but let me take this moment to beg, please stop giving into that man's career. Y'all have the talent to make it, then you don't need his bullshit hype noise. On the track, though, I was surprised how Connor lowered the tone of his voice for this one. And honestly, he got some high bars in, but still, I think he might have been a little past from his features. His features might have done a little more work than him, and I definitely did not see that one coming. Still, this track is worth throwing in the deck and bumping in the whip. Real nostalgic, cool remix that brings us a whole while back. So unbelievable. So very difficult beat to spit over. Whole bunch of drums, keyboard drops, and all that. He comes kind of mediocre overall. There's some cool pop culture references, not many. One thing for sure is he definitely goes hard on the alliteration at the beginning. He uses the word U, the letter U, like crazy. I was not flipping out by much of anything he was saying. Although I like to hear him doing that quick ass last few words on a line, that dum-dum-dum-dum. A lot of rappers can't pull that off anymore. That was a big pun thing, and it was nice to hear somebody perfect that, I would say. And at the end, and saying quote unquote, he said, if this gonna make you listen to Ready Die, my job is done. That's a very, very fucking cool thing to say. That shows you that this tape is an official tribute and not just an excuse to use classic, well-established beats. Props to him for that honor of, one of the great late kings. Sky is the limit. Finally, he kind of slows it down. He makes it sound smooth. Seems like he accepted that he could sound cool without like wilding the hell out and raising his voice. On top of that, he's talking deep. It's a street true story and shit. And he puts some ill ass Notorious interview clips on it. That's well production. I like that. Overall, this will go down as the closest in resemblance to an actual Biggie track on the tape. True tribute. This is the storytelling shit that would make Big proud. Talks about, the struggle, about being a fan, and how you could look at the 360 and how he proves that you could come out the dirt, be successful, and no matter where you come from, you can make it full circle. As a mixtape, especially a part of a series, I absolutely applaud this man on his conceptuality of the tributes and how he brings that into respecting the dead. But conceptually, he does not speak too much on the album. He's got about 3 tracks where he really reminisces and tells a story generally. Like I said, he's got to slow it down a little bit unless he wants to be stuck in that street bracket, and don't sound like he does. You know. So I'll give it 6 out of 10. And that's coming from Clinton, Hip Hop Hercules, the historian. John Connor, Best in the World. Tribute to Notorious B.I.G. Volume 1. We out.
On the knees and live what you saying on the